What's up, everyone? So welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I film my B-roll on my Canon 6D Mark II. This is going to be the first video ever to talk about my Canon 6D Mark II. Many filmmakers show how they start their video through their concept. But in my videos today, I just want to provide you more additional support, especially about the second point that I would like to talk about is my camera setting. Because having the concepts on how to film your B-roll is not enough. You have to know what kind of setting, what camera setting, what is the right setting for your camera before you start filming. Because if the camera settings goes wrong, your post-production or your video is going to be wrong as well. So again, number one that I would like to share is how I shot my B-roll video. Second of all is my camera setting, what settings I use. The third point that I would like to talk in this video as well is my post-production, meaning that how I edit and what are the components I edit in my post-production through the Final Cut Pro. So I'm gonna teach you guys everything that you need to know from this video. And if you haven't checked out my Final Cut Pro tutorials yet, I have got some episodes for you guys as well to watch and learn, especially for beginners who have never used the Final Cut Pro before. So my strong recommendation is you should have Final Cut Pro and you should learn to use Final Cut Pro rather than other applications on the market, because you will learn a lot from my tutorial about the reasons why you should use Final Cut Pro instead of other applications. Okay, so without further delay, let's get started on how to shoot my B-roll. Okay, so point number one is the concept. So B-roll is a shot that you kind of play around from different angles to focus on a subject that you are filming. For example, if I want to make a tutorial on how to use the GoPro, so my subject is the GoPro. So I kind of play around GoPro before I start teaching you guys the tutorials on how to set up the camera setup or how to use the GoPro. I kind of play around with filming from different angles so that it's kind of give you more in-depth information, something like the settings, the buttons exist around this GoPro. The video I'm filming right now is called A-roll. So A-roll is kind of a standstill shot that right now, as you can see, I'm sitting here without any additional composition from other cameras because I have only one camera filming right now. So this is called A-roll, while B-roll is kind of, for example, if I'm talking to the camera right now like this, there will be a second camera like to capture from this angle at the back, and camera film what I'm using to film myself, something like that. So this is called B-roll. So when you know the concept of B-roll, it's really easy for you guys to kind of film what you want to film and what kind of information would you want to provide to your audience. Like again, if you're filming, if I'm about to show you guys the tutorial on the GoPro, I kind of film in front of the GoPro, the other side of the GoPro, so that you, and at the back of the GoPro, so that everybody, especially my audience, can see what the camera consists of. So in the video that I show you at the moment, that I'm filming a bottle of red wine, so I kind of play around from different angles, as you can see. So I just try to focus on the bottle, so everybody can watch the bottle, and with different kind of angles, lit in and fade out of this kind of thing. Imagine this is my Canon 16 Mark II. So this is how I shot a B-roll. I kind of filming like this, or filming like this, or from up down and down to up. One more thing that I normally play around with this kind of movement as well is the quick movement. For example, when I film like this, when I want to finish, before I finish my ending video, kind of move it very quickly, so that it gives me the ending transition, what we call natural transition, without using any effect in the post-production, because here you've got what you want. So at the moment, my quick movement is from the right to the left. So the next sequence of the video could probably from the right to the left, or you can do a reverse. You can quickly move, because we want to join the previous and the next clips. So at the moment you move very quickly like this, you can do reverse it back like this and then slow down. So when you combine the clip together, you will have this kind of transition that people would not know. And the same thing happen when I move like this, and then before I finish my kind of move it very quickly, and then when I connect to the second or the next sequence, I kind of move very quickly from up to down like this, very quickly like this, and then I kind of slow it down like that. Okay, so that is my movement and my concepts. Normally this is what I do. The second one that I would like to talk as well is the movement from the left to the right. You tilt a little bit of your camera, like, it's not straight like this. Look at this, yeah, like this, and then your movement is like this. Okay, so it looks very good because you try to capture below the subjects, but you're trying to focus by adjusting your camera up a little bit like this. So it gives you another kind of interesting composition towards your subject that you would like to film about. My next recommendation regarding the concepts as well is you should film the video up to 13 seconds, not less than 30 seconds, because you don't know what clip you're going to use, and you don't know whether it is too short or it's too long. It's too long is good. Yeah, too long is good, because you can adjust it in post-production. Like you can make it quicker, or if you want to slow it down up to 10 or 20%, is up to you. But too short is very hard. So whatever you film, make sure that do not film less than 13 seconds. Okay, more than 13 seconds is the best. Another point which is worth mentioning as well is film your subjects as many as possible, because you don't know which one you're going to delete, which one that is useless. So just try your best filming one subject as much as you can. So that's it about my concepts on filming the B-roll. It's very simple, you don't have to be so stressful about that. Now let's move on to the second main point in this video, which is the camera setting. Okay guys, so now it comes to the camera setting that I use. So this is my Canon 16 Mark II. So for your information, what I normally use is I normally film it up to 60 or 59p. When you choose the 69p, you have to double your shutter speed. So the shutter speed is 125 now, so 125. The next thing that you need to understand as well. I'm not quite sure if your Canon consists of the IS, the image stabilizer, but in these, the Canon 6D Mark II, the body itself is equipped with these capabilities. You can see movie digital IS, yes, image stabilization. So there are two different levels, so level number 1 and level 2. So when you move around the camera, this function helps the video to be stabilized. But your body camera does not have this kind of capability. Don't worry about that, because what I normally film, I always go with off as well, because I don't really need this one. Because there are two options. If your camera doesn't have this, you can include this kind of capability in post-production in the Final Cut Pro or the Adobe Premiere. So you can always do that in post-production. For the ISO, try not to increase it too much, because it's gonna burn your clip. Just make sure that it's balanced, it's nice and clear. Regarding the aperture, my recommendation is to stay somewhere around 2, not below than 2. For example, if you go lower than 2, which is 1.4, the subject is well focused and the background is well blurred, but the thing is that it's also affect with the lighting reflection as well, because the lighting is not really well exposed. That is the reason why I recommend you to go up a little bit, about 2.5 or 2.8, so that your video is stay in focus. Okay, so one last important thing that I forgot to mention as well is the focus. So in my B-roll shot, I use the manual focus rather than autofocus, because it's really hard to get a autofocus because the lens I'm using is not as fast as I expected. So I go with manual. So I adjust the ring of the manual focus and see if the subject is well focused. When my subject is well focused, I know exactly the distance between the subject and the camera. So I kind of move the camera up and down or whatever in the same position or the same place that I place the camera. This is going to be very tricky because you have to know exactly where your camera set up with the focus, because the subject is stay focused whatever you are doing. So if I move around like this, it's gonna stay the same with the focus. Okay, so now let's move on to the next point, which is about the post-production, how I edit my clips in post-production. Okay guys, so now it comes to the post-production, which is the third main point that I would like to introduce to you guys in this video. As you can see, this is the timeline that I drag all of the clips that I have onto the timeline, and the program that I'm using is the Final Cut Pro. So this is the version 10.4.5. You can use any version of the Final Cut Pro, it doesn't matter. What matters the most is the effect, the transitions, as well as the other components that I use. Okay, so let's start with the first thing that I would like to tell you. From these, as you can see, this is the movement. So the first clip, as you can see, the first clip I ended with very simple movement, but the second clip, the movement is from the ball, and then we move a little bit up to the subject. So to make it more interesting in my post-production, I use this kind of transition. Without the transition, if you can see, nothing, right? It's not really interesting because it's very simple. That is why I use this transition. Let's see. Yes, so this is a movement of transitions, which anytime that, for example, your clips or your video, the ending is simple like mine, you can use this kind of transition to help. So this kind of transitions I use from here, Alex FX transitions. You can see there are a lot of transitions, movement. You have different style like this. Okay, so many transitions here that you can try. You can see here. If you want this kind of transitions, just let me know in the comment down below. Just write down your email. I will give away these transitions to 10 people, so make sure that you subscribe my channel, like the video, as well as to share this video to the public. After 2 weeks, I will select the 10 people who will receive these transitions. So don't forget to follow my instructions again, guys. So please like this video, share the video, and subscribe my channel, and then write down your email address in the comment down below, and I will select the 10 people who will receive these transition. As you can see, between the clips, I always use transition. This is another transition. Yeah, see, all transition. Without this kind of transition, the movement, the joining clip seems to be very simple. You can see that. So that is transitions. The next component that I use is this music. So the music here. So you have to find the right music for your videos. What kind of music you want, what kind of feeling that you want your audience to put their feeling into your video. So you have to figure out the music first. And the next thing that you should know as well is my sound effect, the whoosh sound effect. So without the whoosh sound effect, yeah, it's kind of very simple to look at. It's not exciting to watch. So having this kind of effect, just like when you eat something, just like having other ingredients or any sauces to add to your food, it's delicious. Without those kind of ingredients or sauces, your food is like very tasteless. And the last thing that I want you to know as well is the color grading. So this line here, if I turn it off, you can see this is the original clips that I filmed, and this is after I color grade. Okay, so that is why I also mentioned that when you film, make sure that you use the neutral color so that you can do more in post-production. In this post-production as well, what I'm using is the layer. So this is a layer, so I have different kind of format of the video. So this video format is 1080p. So for your information, if you want to get this layers pack, just follow my instruction again, like my video, subscribe my video, and comment your email address below, and don't forget to share this video. And after 2 weeks, I will send these layer packs to 10 people who have completed the requirement. So again, the reason why we should use layer is that you can see there are many clips, right? Without the layer, it's really hard because for example, now I turn off the layer here. So without the layer, what you have to do is to drag and drop or adjust. You have to adjust the color one by one. And look at the clips. There are a lot of clips, right? So layer is very helpful. With layer, you just drag the layer, drag and drop onto the timeline, and then make sure that the layer cover all of the clips. You can see here. So I can, so let's say just adjust on the layer. The layer will apply to all the clips that the layer covers. The next thing as well that I want you to know is that the effect that I use to color grade these clips. So I use color finale. Okay, color finale, just drag and drop onto the layer. I have curves, I have LUT, I have 6 vectors. Yeah, LUT. So you have different kind of LUT if you want. Yeah, here 3 stripe, whatever you want. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comment down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks.